Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I'm always joined, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. Mark, how's it going?
It's going great. I realized when you came over to record that I have not been outside today, out of my house. I have not been outside of my house because you're wearing
I'm wearing shorts
and
yeah.
a t-shirt, and
Yeah,
I'm
that's right.
wearing sweats and a sweater.
I was surprised to see the hoodie, which is never is never a statement that I should have to make about you.
Uh-huh.
I should always expect to see you in a hoodie. But yeah, I went for a nice long walk this morning. I was growing my Pikmin, as I do, and so I had a very nice summer morning because it's feeling nice and warm in LA now.
I'll take your word for it because I opened the door and I was like, I feel like I'm not dressed appropriately for this.
But you're dressed appropriately for inside. Are you comfortable? Are you uncomfortable right now?
I feel great.
Okay,
I feel very comfortable. Yeah.
Mark, people should know that we have a Patreon. They can go there if they would like to support us. We will keep making this show for you for, I don't know, ever? I don't know how long we can make the show. We keep making it until we don't want to make it anymore. It'll be a long time.
I'm hoping that we are in a retirement home together.
Yeah, I think so too.
Continuing to make these episodes.
Get the Zoom! Yes, but if you would like to support us and pay us, you can do so at patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society, where if you are supporting us at the 8 or 16-bit levels, you can check out a mini-series that we are doing right now called NCS Detective Club. We are watching the great detective shows of television history and talking about them. We have done a couple shows. We are coming out with one on Psych. Oh no, we just came out with one on Psych. We're recording this in advance, so my brain just got jumbled there for a second. But so we've got 4 episodes there that you can check out now, and a new one every month. We will also be doing a new mini-series coming up soon. And if you are a patron, you can vote on what that is going to be.
That's right. And in addition to that extra content,
yes,
we have some other great rewards as well. In fact, in our Patreon, you can choose a custom emoji to be added to the Patreon. That's a new one.
To the Discord.
To the Discord. Yeah, that's right.
Which is something we haven't plugged yet. If you'd like to get in our Discord, people are talking about Nintendo stuff all the time. You can email us, Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter, and we will send you an invitation. You can be in the Discord. You can be talking about Nintendo stuff all the time with a bunch of cool, fun, funny, interesting people. But Mark, we've got a big task ahead of us today. We're going to be ranking all of the items in Mario Kart. First, I think we need to narrow down what we mean when we say, because look, there have been a lot of Mario Kart games, and we're not going to do literally every item from every game.
That's right. We're going to say up front, the arcade games,
toss them out.
Yeah. Not canon.
Yeah, that's right. They've been decanonized. This is Vatican III right here. We're throwing out the arcade games.
Not canon timeline, no. Story timeline.
No, it's not part of our official religion, is what we're saying. So any of those items gone, not counting them. We are also not counting any item that is exclusively used as a character-specific item in Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah, so Double Dash, the pairings, they have super items that you can use, like an enormous mushroom or a Yoshi egg, and we are not counting those.
Right. But there are some items that started there and then became mainstays. So like the mushroom that you can just keep using over and over again. The gold mushroom, I guess, is what it is. That started off as a toad and toadette item. Started off as someone, I don't quote me on it. And then later just became like part of the main arsenal. So we have a list of 29 items here. That I think we should probably run down the list, and because I think there are some parts here where we may want to like combine some items, and I also like I want to figure out what we do with these like the triples of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like are those separate or are those like part of? We have a lot to go through. So Mark, would you like to should we just start going through them one by one alphabetically?
Yeah, let's just run it down.
Okay, great. So the first item that we have here is of course the banana,
Then the blooper,
then the bomb,
boo,
then the boomerang flower.
bullet bill.
Now, as we're going here, Mark, if there's any that where you have like an objection or a concern, like voice it, okay?
Let's okay, sounds good.
So bill, you said coin,
Crazy 8,
fake item box,
the feather.
the feather. Let's talk about the feather. So the feather in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is exclusively a battle mode item.
Right, which I feel like battle mode only items should not count, and except the feather was just a regular item
In the original.
in Super Mario Kart. So for that reason, I think we include it. But what do you think?
But so it's sort of superseded by the super feather, which we'll get to later on, which allows you to jump.
The super leaf?
Super leaf, yeah, sorry. The super leaf later on. So I almost wonder if the super leaf carries on the legacy of the feather.
I feel like I think that is true, but I wonder if that will if that should shake out in the standings, because
Here's the thing: is I worry that they're both going to be pretty low in the standings. Because like, who cares about a little hop, right?
Well, I feel like the difference is that like the feather is, I think you can just use it once, versus the super leaf has
Right,
like
which allows you to have a couple little hops.
Uh-huh.
And you have like the tail in there too, is part of it.
Right, your cart gets a Tanuki tail.
Which okay. Does the cart also get Tanuki ears?
Oh,
It should.
I don't know. I think it might just be a tail.
Okay, so what is your vote right now?
My
Feather.
vote, I think, is to keep them separate.
Okay.
But I agree with you that they'll probably both be really low.
Well, in that case, why don't we just eject Feather entirely?
Because I feel like for the sake of completion, there's
Okay.
no real benefit to getting rid of it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, next up is the Fire Flower,
Then the golden mushroom,
then the Green Shell,
and then lightning.
then Lucky 7. Now, we already said the Crazy 8. That's where the 8 items appear around you. It appears in Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The Lucky 7 is the same thing in Mario Kart 7, but it's only 7 items. Are these the same item? Are they separate items?
I think it's fair to count them as the same item.
Counting them as the same item.
I think so.
I think also it would be hard to rank them separately, right?
Right, because they would basically be identical, but then maybe you would say 7 goes just below it because it's 7 instead of 8. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? But
yeah.
so no, I agree. I think it makes sense. Oh, we mixed these cards all
We
up.
mix
so we're
these
gonna
cards
have
all
to-
up, so it's going to be impossible. I'm just removing the Crazy 8, and when we find the Lucky 7, we will add that it is also Crazy 8.
Okay.
All right, so I'm taking Crazy 8 on our list here and putting it with Lucky 7. And I understand that sounds redundant that we have 2 different processes happening here, but it's the only way we can think to keep track of it.
Up next is the Mega Mushroom.
And that's the mushroom that makes you huge.
We exclusive.
We exclusive. Next up, the multi-banana. And it is at this point that I have to engage the question. Is multi-banana a separate item from banana?
I think absolutely. I think multi anything.
Okay.
The dynamics of that are totally different.
The
than
dynamics
having a
are
single-
totally different,
than
yes.
having like a single shell or a single
Okay.
banana. That's my vote. I
Um,
know I came in really strong there.
You did. You came in
I'm
really strong.
open to disagreement, but I feel strongly.
I mean, at that point, I just think that like any of the single iterations of these things are going to be less. They have to be ranked lower than the multiples.
I mean, I think that is probably true.
Yeah,
But I don't think that is a reason to discard them.
fair enough.
Let's see.
then mushroom,
And then piranha plant.
and then pow block,
Then the red shell.
then spiny shell, which is the real name of the blue shell.
This is like a cartridge cart situation. I've never heard anybody call it the spiny shell.
No, well, because the other shells are green shells and red shells. So like
I mean, I guess technically it is the only one that is
it
spiny.
does have spines. It has spines. But it's also the only one that's blue. So I don't I think we will use them interchangeably.
The super horn,
And then the super leaf,
the starman,
the thundercloud, and this is a Wii exclusive, so it's we'll probably have to explain it later on.
and then the triple green shells,
Triple mushrooms.
and finally the triple red shells.
I think it's odd that the bananas are called multi-banana and everything else is triple when they're all in sets of 3.
Yeah, that is weird.
What's going on here?
I don't. Maybe because the multi. No, I was gonna say maybe because the multi banana was like named before the other ones were, but that just can't possibly be true.
Right. I guess, I mean, it's probably something that we will never know. Although, maybe the multi-banana was named first because you did like those 3 bananas did like trail
No,
behind
you're
you.
right. Okay, so this is you are absolutely right. So this is really important, and we need to figure out how to handle this. I think, it is called the triple banana now, but previously it was called the banana bunch when you just had a row of 5 bananas
Oh, and
behind
it was a
you.
5.
But now it's a row of 3 bananas.
And it's not even a row. It's like they circle you, right? Or no, maybe that's just the shells that they
yeah,
circle
I think
around
it's
you.
I think it is just a row behind you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean oh boy. Some controversy already.
So, yeah, how do we want to handle this? I feel like this is a test of how we're going to, like, this is almost like a litmus test for how much our listeners can trust us to handle the rest of this list. Like, if we handle this in the correct way.
Don't like this. So okay, I think there are basically 2. In my head I see the bananas, like the banana peels, like circling you in Mario Kart 8 and not trailing 3 behind you. Am I crazy?
I don't. I think you might be.
Okay, I might just be wrong.
No, actually, I think you might be right. I think that at some point it stopped being a trail. I can't remember. Now I feel like I'm like making things up. We just need to go to the source. Patrick, I see you're doing some research.
Okay, we figured it out. In modern Mario Karts, it is 3 bananas that circle you as you go. So now, Mark, we need to decide, is bunch of bananas or banana bunch, is that a separate item than
Triple
multi-banana?
bananas.
Yeah, triple bananas. And multi-banana, maybe we need to throw out that terminology entirely.
Yeah. Okay. I think that I'm okay just doing triple banana.
Okay.
But my question is, if we are in the discussion of triple banana, do we also consider
The banana bunch.
Yeah.
Here's
or multi-banana.
But banana bunch was,
Yeah, where did multi... Oh, I see. They're calling in the wiki,
Yes,
they're
yes.
calling it multi-banana because it has 2 different names and 2
Right.
different like functions.
Right. I think we should just add multi-banana as a separate item.
Okay.
And that represents the like 5 trailing bananas.
Okay.
So this card now that used to be Crazy 8, that's too confusing. I'm going to use a blank card.
That seems like, yeah, a recipe for disaster.
It's just courting.
Yeah, so listeners, a lot of times we do this with like sticky notes, but somehow I thought I had a bunch of sticky notes, but I had no sticky notes. So now we just have colorful pieces of paper.
Yeah, and it's no, I think this will work. I think it's good. All right, I'm glad we settled that banana thing. I have expressed already my concern that the triples will just obviously trounce the single versions of all these items, but I say la vie, I guess.
Okay, so now that we've hashed out multi-banana,
Yeah.
mushroom is next.
Oh, sorry. No, I thought we read all the way through the list. Did we not?
Oh, you're
We
right.
did. We got all the way to
you're
the
right, we
triples.
did.
Yeah.
We did. We absolutely
This
did.
is a good show. All right, Mark, how would you like to begin here? I feel a little overwhelmed at the moment with all of these items.
Yeah. I feel like a good starting point for something like this is at the bottom, and I have a pick
You have a pick for
personally
bottom for
that I would
worst item.
yeah that I think is the most disappointing item to get, and that's coin.
Coin. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I think coin is probably the worst.
Yeah, coin isn't is I feel like that's an easy bottom, right? Coin, there we go.
And I feel like part of the reason, so what, I at least in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you can be holding up to 10 coins at a time, and the more coins you collect up to 10, your cart goes a little bit faster.
Goes a little bit faster, and there's the like tiniest, basically imperceptiblest boost when you get a coin or like use the coin item.
And if you're in like first place, you are going to be seeing a lot of coins.
And it's basically nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I sort of like bananas, like a single banana. I like setting traps with them. I like driving around a corner where I see someone has already placed a banana, and me being like, I'm going to plant another banana right next to it.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I'm going to make this like an impossible obstacle course for the next person to try and get through. I think bananas are super fun. I love dropping them right by the item box. Like, I think a banana is actually a very fun and engaging item on this list, and banana and coin are like the two most frequent that you see when you're in first place.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, coin for me down there at the bottom.
Coin down at the bottom, I think is definitely right. I will also put forth that the feather, which we still have on here, and the super leaf, which is hiding around here somewhere, right there, that those are also like towards the bottom. I don't find too much utility in being able to jump.
Yeah, I agree.
With these items.
Yeah, I definitely agree. One that I feel like is difficult to place, because if you have it and it is needed, it truly is like the MVP. Like it feels unstoppable. But otherwise, I don't think is all that great is the super horn.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Well, so at this point, I think we need to maybe have a little conversation about what we mean by like we're ranking these from worst to best, right?
Right.
And that may not be from least useful to most useful.
No, I agree. It's I am not saying that the super horn should go above the super leaf.
Oh,
I'm just throwing it out there for conversation, as because I'm conflicted about it as an item.
Well, and this is exactly what I mean, though, is that like as an item, it is one of the purer tests of skill in Mario Kart, is like how you deploy a super horn, right? Like, do you use it as you are like passing someone? Do you use it defensively against red shells? Do you use it defensively against the spiny shell? Do you use it to like knock out a chain chomp so you can take a shortcut, right? Like, it is so versatile and so cool, and it's something that you can get when you are in first, second, or third place, which like the Starman is just as versatile, but you can only get it when you're already back a ways.
Yeah, if you're in first place and you have a super horn and then a spiny shell gets deployed, that is the best feeling in the world.
There's nothing better in Mario Kart than knocking a spiny shell out of the air with a super horn.
Yeah.
So like for that reason alone, I like it occupies a special place in my heart.
Yeah, so maybe what we should be doing is grouping these into gut groups where we're like, ooh, super horn, feels like
that's good.
Higher up on the list, because I agree with that.
So let's just try. So we have now moved super leaf, feather, and coin to sort of like the graveyard. They're in the ranking, but they're just in the graveyard. So yeah, let's go through and like kind of assess tiers here, like A, B, C, and if there's any that we designate S, I think that's fine. But I would put that super horn in the A tier.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so let's. I will start. The A tier will be over here by me, Mark.
Okay.
Let's just start grabbing things. Red shell.
I feel like that's an A tier item.
I feel like it's an A tier item too, but then the triple red shells are also A tier.
Yeah,
possibly S tier.
Possibly S tier.
Yeah. Where are the triple red shells? Let's put Mark. You want to make a space for S tier over there? Okay, great. All right, let's just keep going here. Mega mushroom. This is the mushroom that makes you huge. This is a C tier for me.
Yeah, this is a C tier.
It is fun to C can be right here in the middle of the table. It is fun to become an enormous version of a Mario Kart. Like it's the reverse of making everyone small, making you big. But and man, we used to have house rules playing Mario Kart Wii, and one of them was when you got the Mega Mushroom, you just had to announce, "I'm huge." You'll be hearing a lot of these house rules as we discuss these items. But like fun, but also like not. I don't know. It doesn't feel integral to what Mario Kart is.
Yeah, I agree. Another one that I think is really fun, and I mourn the fact that it is not regularly included anymore, is the fake item box. For everything you were
Love
saying,
that fake item box.
For everything you were saying about like the mushroom or the banana,
Yeah,
and being able to like plant traps. Oh, the fake item box could be deployed so sneakily.
yeah. Yes, Sarah loves getting items in Mario Kart. She like I know everyone does, but she will prioritize getting the items over like literally anything else. And so back when we had fake item boxes in like Mario Kart Wii, it was so satisfying to throw them down because she would always run into them.
Well, because like the thing that I loved about fake item boxes
Yeah.
is if placed strategically, like it truly is a booby trap, even for yourself if you forget exactly where you put it. Or like,
yeah.
you know, like bananas, you know that's a trap. You
Yeah.
know, you see a
Yep,
banana
yep.
and you can go out of your way to avoid it. But a fake item box just looks like any other item box.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe
and
that's why they got rid of it. Is that it is too?
it felt too mean.
It's or yeah, like you can't avoid it. There's nothing
It
you
is
can do.
weird
except,
that it's not in 8 Deluxe,
yeah,
right?
because it's so. I think it's a great item for me. Probably a B tier.
I think
maybe
B
not
tier
A
as well.
tier,
Yeah.
but I feel good about B tier.
B is going to go over here on top of the Focusrite, the preamp.
Okay.
All right. Let's just address the multi banana, which we decided now. What does this card mean? This is triple banana.
Triple banana because we put banana bunch on there as well.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I like triple banana. You know, you can use it defensively, and then you also have, you know, like the option to just kind of like it's multi-dimensional,
Yes.
right? With like
it's
triple
defensive and it is sabotaging.
Yeah, you can choose how to deploy it for like sabotage because you can in one space litter 3 shells.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to use
bananas.
3 bananas. You know, like, so just like in one small space, I'm just going to put 3 and make it really hard.
Right.
Or you can choose to use it as like 3 discrete bananas and take your time with it. So you're using it both defensively, like I'm just going to hang on to them until the right time to deploy this.
Right. Well, and also like as 3 bananas, it is a more effective shield against items being thrown at you than the single banana because they're like circling you the whole time. Although when you're down to just 1 banana and someone throws a red shell at you, it can penetrate that.
Right.
Because it just depends on where that banana is. So I don't know. Is this an A tier item or is it a B tier? I think it might be B.
I think it might be a strong B, but I do
strong
think it's
B.
a B.
Okay, great. Next up, the golden mushroom. Gotta say, I find this thing stressful, and usually when I'm far enough back on a track that I'm like frustrated with how I'm doing, I actually don't like getting the golden mushroom.
And I know it's part of the point of it, but I don't like the lack of like. Yes, you're going fast, but the lack of control.
You lose the control.
Uh-huh.
And like you get this thing on Rainbow Road, and it's more of a hindrance.
Yeah, it's a death. It's a death certificate.
So I want to put this thing in C tier.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And I don't think all of our C tier items are going to be like the
mushrooms
near. that is true so far. Mega Mushroom and Golden Mushroom, but I mean all the like you're in 10th place, and so it gives you like a gift item. But maybe like I don't love the bullet bill as an item. Like I find it to be kind of a bummer to get it.
So the bullet bill is interesting. I do think that the piranha plant is kind of like similar, but just a little bit better of a execution of that idea.
Yeah, I mean it's you have more control, but it's less like a. The bullet bill is so weird in that it's just like no, I'm driving.
Yeah, it just drags you along.
You just go, and the piranha plant is at least like you're still driving, and it'll like yank you in different directions to like bite stuff. But that's like funny and chaotic.
Right.
Maybe that's a B tier. What do you think
For the piranha plant?
for the piranha plant?
Yeah. Yes.
Where's the
But I
piranha
think the
plant?
bullet bill is probably C tier.
Yeah. So there's piranha plant goes. Oh yeah, B tier. I have B tier. That's right. You have S tier over there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk fire flower. I think this thing is mostly useless.
I like it in battle mode.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. I mean, the thing I will say I would probably put it in B tier maybe, because the thing
B
I
tier,
like
okay.
about Fire Flower is that you don't have to be super precise. Like you can kind of just like spray and pray. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
totally.
you can hedge your bets. You're like, okay, I'm just going to shoot out like 5 fireballs
Right, all at once.
and just kind of basically change the trajectory of each one a little bit to just kind of like cover the track.
Right.
And so just hope that I can, no matter what the person in front of me, however they're maneuvering,
Mhm.
I will be able to hit them with one of the 5.
Or you can toss them behind you too, like is
Yeah.
another way. All right, I've seen your way of thinking. We can put it in the B tier. Lucky 7 / Crazy 8.
I feel like I just don't. Is it weird that this one doesn't really like move me one way or the other?
No, I don't think that's weird because it is total chaos. It is like the most Mario Kart item in there because it's really 7 or 8 items, and it's so weird to get at the same time a mushroom and a star and a banana, right? Like I don't know. It feels so strange and like truly in that moment you are not like nothing you do is affecting anything, right?
Yeah, it's almost like there's no way to strategically deploy it.
Right. Yeah. So it's a good bit of chaos, but it doesn't feel it feels like the item uses you.
I guess maybe a C tier. Like we'll put it in with like the bullet bill.
Yeah, I guess we're putting it in with the bullet bill. C tier. That's fine. Next, green shell. Green shell hard to use, man.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say C tier.
I think so too. I wouldn't say it's as bad as the super leaf, but
Oh, you think it's like bottom C tier?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's put it there for right now. I think I may put it a little bit higher, just because like as a defensive item, it is as good as the banana, but you can't really use it to set traps. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, if I'm firing a green shell forward, I'm gonna run into that shell.
I know. I feel like I use green shells more to just like protect myself from behind.
Right.
Than anything else.
And I do like tossing them back. Like that can be satisfying.
Yeah, that is fun.
But
especially when you know somebody's like right on your trail.
I know.
But it's not like the red shell where you don't, like where you have a little bit of faith it'll direct towards them.
Right.
With the green shell, you're like shooting it behind you, and so when it does hit, and I know somebody's back there, but I don't know how close.
Right.
So when you do like get the your character does a little celebration. Because,
yeah. Like yes,
it did something that feels really good.
That does feel really good. Should we address the triple green shells at this point?
So this one I feel like I would maybe put this in A. I feel like a triple green shell is equal to 1 red shell.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
In my heart.
And certainly they're in the same tier here. Let's talk about, because I feel like these two are very similar, the Bob-omb and the boomerang flower, in that they're both like offensive weapons that are hard to use. Like especially the Bob-omb. Like I don't really have a good method for how to deploy them either in front of me or behind me.
Yeah, I feel like the Bob-omb is like kind of like the green shell in the sense that I feel like
You're just gonna hit yourself.
I feel like I usually just end up hitting myself, which in some ways is like part of the fun of it, right? Like you're getting this thing that I guess if it's deployed correctly is pretty devastating, but I feel like the risk is that you get hit by an item and it blows up,
right?
Or you throw it in front of you and then drive right into it. So I don't hate it. It's interesting to me that you consider the Bob-omb and the boomerang flower to kind of be similar, because I feel like the boomerang flower, whenever I get it, I'm like, oh, nice. But then
Oh,
actually using it,
it's tough.
I, like, uh, the reality never meets that like momentary expectation where I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
look out.
Well, like, because you have the 3 uses with it, so like you do have this like moment similar to the fire flower where you're like, I can do a little spray and pray here, I can like fire it off a bunch. But if you have a second item and you like toss the boomerang, then when it comes back to you, it's like behind that second item, or like if you've collected another item in the meantime, it'll get like moved back. So it can be, I don't know. It's a weird thing where you're like suddenly tracking the inventory of your boomerang, and like it can be useful, but I don't know. It's like the fact that it just sort of like spins people out and doesn't actually like knock them out in the same way that a shell does. It just doesn't feel quite as doesn't have quite the punch.
Which one do you like? Like, I'm not really excited to get either of these. When,
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
when I pull an item,
I think I'm more excited to get the boomerang flower, frankly, than the
it
bob-omb.
feels safer if nothing
Yeah,
else.
yeah, totally. I'm not gonna hurt myself with the
Uh
boomerang.
huh. Yeah.
Even though if I was throwing a real boomerang, especially while driving a go-kart, would absolutely hurt myself. That's not true. You just throw it and it would never come back.
It would never come back. Also, if you're on a real go kart, feel like the boomerang flower is still probably safer than the bob.
Then a bomb?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a little bomb with feet. Yeah, so I think maybe boomerang flower goes B tier,
Okay.
and the bob-omb goes C tier.
Yeah.
Possibly high C tier, but we'll put it in C tier. C tier is getting kind of thick at the moment.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's appropriate because there are a lot of just kind of like middling items
Yeah,
in Mario Kart where you're neither excited to get them
right.
or disappointed to get them. You're just kind of like, oh,
Okay. See, I'm looking at 2 of those right now. I think I'm looking at 3 of those. The blooper, the spiny shell, and the lightning.
yeah. The spiny shell is great for spite, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not in first place,
Right.
and you know that you could cause a
Whoever
little
is in
chaos,
first place, right.
is gonna hate you.
Right.
But as far as like helping yourself,
It's not there at all.
it's usually not there unless it's a really close race. In which case, where it's like the first place is not so far ahead of you
right.
that like them spinning out for a couple of seconds like doesn't do any good.
The thing is,
If everybody's like clumped together, then it can be like a real game changer. But it rarely is it a game changer for you.
right, it'll change the game at the top, but you're not at the top. That's why you got the blue shell.
Right.
It is definitely an item that feels like, because the game has this like sense of justice where it wants to like level the playing field for everyone, but it seems like a blue shell is just something that the game should randomly deploy every now and then. Like there shouldn't have to be a player that uses it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like a Bowser airship like takes over airspace and is just like
Yeah.
deploys 3 of them onto the field.
Right, and they just happen sometimes.
Yeah.
So like by that token, it's an interesting thing to have to like account for. That's part of why I like the super horn, is like you have it for that moment. But it is so disappointing when you are struggling and you're like, I just need something that'll help me get
Even a single
ahead.
if I'm like struggling, like even a single mushroom
much better.
is it feels more valuable to me than a
Yeah.
spiny shell. Except again in those rare circumstances where it is actually a close race.
So where do you put the spiny shell? What tier? We've got such a big C tier at the moment that I think we need to break it up.
To me, it feels better than a C tier
Okay.
because sometimes all everything we've just said about the spiny shell is true, and yet sometimes just the cathartic release of
Yeah.
hitting that person in first place like is enough.
It is also like just the ethos of Mario Kart. It is the leveler. It is the thing that people refer to when they're like, "Oh yeah, but like even if you race really great, you're just going to get hit with the blue shell and blah
Right?
blah blah."
Yeah.
Like it is the spirit of Mario Kart embodied in a single item.
You know what? Yes, and I feel like that this same conversation happens with Super Smash Brothers, but it's with like all items. I feel like it's
Yeah,
either
sure.
like binary, like you either
Yeah.
like items or you don't like items, and within that there are items that you might like more than others.
Right.
But people either want to play with items or they don't want to play with items.
Yes.
But I feel like for me, Super Smash Brothers is not Super Smash Brothers without items, and I feel like Mario Kart is not really Mario Kart without
without the blue
having that
shell.
like spiny shell. Like, yes, when you are in first place and you get hit by it, or you see it coming, you like hear that homing sound. It is annoying, but that's part of the game. Like,
Yeah,
it's what
totally,
makes it
totally.
Mario Kart. So it's
Ooh, maybe we put it up in A
it's
tier.
not, yeah, and that's interesting because maybe
Because again, we have to assess what we mean in these rankings, right? Like these are not, we're not always saying like this is an item that I'm excited to get or not excited to get, excited to have fired at me, not excited to have fired at me. We're just ranking them, right? And the spiny shell does what it does better than any of the rest of these items.
yeah, and feels like you said so important to that like Mario Kart
Yeah.
ethos. So yeah, I think we talked ourselves into
There
it.
we go. Spiny shell going in the A
A
tier.
tier.
And of course, all of this is subject to change. The final list may be totally different. But let's stay on the sort of trio that I highlighted here, because as long as we're talking about the blooper, and the blooper, this is where you summon a little inky squid to make it hard for everyone to see. I don't like getting this item. I don't like having it used on me. I especially don't like it now that we have these new tracks that I don't know my way
Oh
around.
yeah, totally.
Where like I don't know. I may nominate this one for sub coin. Below the coin is where I'm in my mind. I think it goes in the graveyard mark.
There's some fun things about the blooper. I like that if you're in one of those sections that, has like a really big jump, so you're accelerating
Sure.
to make that like auto jump, that it will pull the ink off of, like your view.
Yeah, well, and then, like if you go into water or like under a waterfall, it'll like wash away. I like that too.
Yeah, so I like that there's like, like it can be I'm not really advocating for the blooper that hard, but I will say, but I do think that like it is a like thoughtfully designed item where there is both. I think there is both some joy in doing it to other people.
Okay.
Same with like similar to like the lightning.
Yeah.
Where there is some joy in like you deploy it. Lightning is better because you get to
Lightning
see
is
them
definitely
shrink
better.
down.
Yeah.
But
Well, and you get like that moment where like the screen turns dark and there's like lightning and like you feel like you're God for a second.
yeah, I mean the lightning definitely is better, but I like
Right.
the fact that like, oh, I'm a little stinker. I'm deploying the blooper. Everybody
Yeah.
else's screen is like ruined. Mine isn't. But then on the other side of it, there is like a cool sort of like joy that comes from like, oh, you thought you got me, but I'm just
That's
about to
true.
go into the water.
Right,
Or you
right.
thought me got me, but I'm just about to hit this like accelerator pad, and like it's no good on me.
Right,
I feel
right.
like that's what makes it
That's an I'm
interesting
rubber,
item.
you're glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like lightning, there is nothing you can do about
No,
it.
you're
right?
just screwed. Yeah.
You're just screwed. But like the blooper, there's a little bit of joy in being able to like, clap back.
All right, where do you want to put it?
I think I want to put it in B.
Putting it in B tier. All right. Let's address the lightning, which I think has to go then in like A tier.
I think it's an A
that
tier.
feels too high
but
to me.
it really is just like offensively so much fun to be able to do it, especially when somebody's about to like make a jump and you deploy it and you see them fall out of the sky.
Well, they undid that now. If you get shrunk in the air with lightning, you no longer get knocked down. You're just shrunk.
Oh,
That's in one of the most recent updates. One of the things I do really like about the lightning is that the amount of time you stay small depends on what place you're in.
Yes.
So like it'll hit everyone in front of you, but it hits them all to varying degrees. So like the first place person is going to stay smaller longer. That's one of the things I really like about when you're in third place and the lightning happens. Then you're like, oh, great! Now I have an opportunity to overtake the second and first place people because they stay smaller longer.
Yeah, it really is.
It's
yeah,
cool.
It is.
Also very fun to flatten people when they're small.
Absolutely. So yeah, again, I feel like lightning is very not fun to have deployed against you,
Right.
but is very fun to deploy lightning.
I would rather be lightninged than bloopered.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Also, the way that it affects the music when everyone is shrunk down is very funny. The fact that they have like small versions of track of all the music
Yeah,
tracks.
the music goes a little
that's very-
screwy. Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, I think
Alright.
I feel like A, and maybe a low A.
Maybe a low
like
A,
bumping
yeah.
into B,
Mhm.
but I feel like A is a good place for it.
Okay, so we have just a couple more items to put into tiers here. We've got 8 left. Let's discuss the Boo. Boo
So
makes you invisible for a little bit, steals an item from an opponent.
somebody ahead of you. Yeah.
Right.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I think high C.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think so too.
I almost in some ways put it in the same category as the Lucky 7/Crazy 8, where it's like there's no real way to plan for it, and its real strength is that it like gets you other items.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like it stinks when you have a good item and then you see it get taken away from by a boo.
Yeah, that's not fun. There's no fun part of that.
Let's finish this, but then I have we should put the rest of these into tiers. But then I have a question for you that might change
okay.
this a little bit.
All right, let's do mushroom and triple mushroom.
Okay.
So I think triple mushroom is S tier.
Yes, and this is kind of like a red shell, triple red shell to me. Like I would put regular mushroom in A tier.
So would I. The precision with which you can deploy one mushroom to take a corner like tighter than you would be able to like access shortcuts, like is so awesome and so like all the rest of these, not all the rest of these, but a lot of like the offensive items in this game, kind of they take away from the racing element and more like lean into the battle racing. But just like a mushroom is just you get to go a little bit faster.
Yes, and in a game that is when it comes, a lot of it is how fast you can race.
Mhm.
The fact that you have the ability to strategically deploy when you want an additional boost of speed is killer.
Right, and being able to do that 3 times, that's what puts the triple
It's a
mushroom
super killer.
in S tier. It's there are some tracks where it's better than others to get that triple mushroom. If you get that like Cheeseland one where there are like 3 discrete shortcuts that are all amazing, and if you get the triple mushroom, you can execute on all 3 of them. It's the best feeling in the world.
Another one that I really like, although not S tier, but I feel like a strong contender for A is the Starman.
I agree with this.
And it's kind of for the same reason but it's as in like you can deploy it to get more speed, but then you can also use it I mean, you can the mushroom as well, but I just feel like you have to be less. It's more forgiving. You don't have to be as strategic.
Yeah.
With its use, like the regular mushroom, if you use it and you blow it, that feels bad.
Yes.
With the Starman, it's like, oh, I know that there's just so many uses for it.
Yeah.
You don't want to get hit by an item that you know is coming your way, and it's the only option you have. You get to go a little bit faster. You can take out people in your path.
Right. It's offensive and defensive in a way where you're
lasts for a while.
Yeah, and where like your hand is fully on the wheel the whole time. And what really beats that Starman music, right? Like it's such like an iconic part of like Mario that like I love it. I think it's a good one. A tier?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm struggling between A and S, but I think A tier.
Oh, interesting. S is an interesting place to put that. Put it in S tier.
Well, do you remember on the Mario Kart ride at Universal Studios?
This is a great point.
At like the end of it, you get a star and you're on Rainbow Road, and it's kind of transcendent.
Yeah, it's sort of like the best thing you'll experience that day. Yeah, it's a good point. We have to consider all of the Mario games, except of course for the arcade games; those aren't canon.
That's right.
But because they're developed by like Namco. But this one developed by Nintendo, so it counts.
I kind of feel okay with putting it in S for now.
We'll figure out exactly
how it shakes out.
We're leaving ourselves with some weird ones to rank here. The Pow Block, the Single Banana, the Banana Bunch, and the Thundercloud. Let's talk about the Thundercloud because it's a bizarre one. It's an item from Mario Kart Wii where you get like a little cloud that you can boost with.
Yeah, so it's over your car, and every time you deploy it, like you get a little bit of boost.
Right.
And then at the after you've exhausted it, there's a penalty because it hits you with lightning, just you.
Right.
So you shrink. So yeah, I like that sugar and salt aspect of it.
Yeah,
where it's like both good for you, but you know that
Also bad for you.
that there's like a penalty for using it.
In my house, we called this one personal lightning. It is kind of a bummer that it doesn't exist in modern Mario Kart games. I feel though like this is maybe, I don't know, because we haven't played with it for so long, and like I don't know, I don't think there's nostalgia for like Mario Kart Wii, right?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there's some, but not in the same way that like Double Dash or 64 or even the original. Like there's never going to be a port of this to Switch, right?
No, but I could foresee a day where they bring back some of the Mario Kart Wii. I mean, it was on the Wii. It must
No,
have
that's a
sold
great
like
point.
a gajillion copies.
That's true.
Um,
Where do you put Thundercloud?
B maybe.
B? Okay, let's put it in B. All right. POW Block.
Another Wii item, I think.
Yeah, another one that we certainly don't have in the current arsenal. That's one that you hit it 3 times, and each time you like upset everyone on the track. What exactly happens with the POW block?
Okay, so when activated, the POW block will travel to all players ahead of you. It makes 3 warning crashes before delivering the final blow, in which the POW block icon is completely flattened and shrinks into the distance, and all the racers stop, lose their items if they have any, and spin out, losing all of their speed.
Okay, so it's another one in line with like the lightning and the blooper, really.
But you can avoid it. One way is to be off the ground when the POW block unleashes its power.
Oh yeah, I remember being able to jump. And,
yeah, the other way is to
avoid it.
shake the Wiimote or press any direction on the D-pad at the moment the POW block strikes. So that way you kind of like do that little boost thing.
Yeah, do that little trick. Which is that is interesting, and that's a fun way to like put skill in there so that like you can avoid it. It's fun being able to avoid hazards.
It is,
right?
yeah. Especially when it does require like a certain amount of timing or skill or something like that. I don't. This is. I mean, it kind of feels like a C.
Yeah, it
to
does
me.
kind of feel like a C, possibly a high C, but who knows? And then we've been avoiding Banana and Banana Bunch. We both like bananas.
Yeah,
right?
triple banana.
Triple Banana is in the B tier.
Uh-huh.
Does that feel low to you now?
It does kind of.
Triple Banana, you're going in the A tier.
Single
banana.
Single banana feels like a. Well, here's what's so weird. A single banana, I'm like B.
Right.
But then Banana Bunch feels like it should be better, and yet I feel less strongly about it.
Well, because we haven't seen the Banana Bunch since the original Super Mario Kart.
No, I think they changed it. Oh.
It changes.
We're going back.
We can't go back to this.
To
We
more
cannot go
research
back to this
on the Banana
No,
Bunch.
we're not doing another transition. We're not looking it up. We just got to go with our gut.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
It's the 5 bananas. The
Yes.
Banana Punch
Yes.
is exclusive to Mario Kart 64.
Okay.
Where you got a whole line.
We got a whole line of bananas
Yeah,
following you.
A quintet of bananas.
Here's something I will say in Banana Bunch's favor. What a name. What a name.
It's a good name.
It's a good name. That said, C tier.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, it's just so weird because like it's 5 bananas. Why would it not be better than banana? And yet,
why
that is how I feel.
Why would it be better than, or why wouldn't it be better than 3 bananas?
Well, I think
3 bananas circle around you, which is what we like about it.
yeah. And
Banana Bunch
is
just
just
trails.
following behind you. Oh, I feel like we just have to go with our heart.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily make logical sense, but
it's going in the C tier. Okay. So we've got a problem in that the C tier is huge.
Yeah.
And the rest of the tiers are, I think, like appropriately sized.
Can I throw, or do you want to go over the tiers? Then I have a question I want to throw out. Too, so
Okay, so the C tier, we've got the green shell,
the golden mushroom,
the mega mushroom,
the bullet bill,
the crazy 8/lucky 7,
the bob-omb,
the boo,
the pow block,
and the banana bunch. In the B tier, we've got the
fake item box,
the banana,
the blooper,
the piranha plant,
the thundercloud,
the fire flower,
and the boomerang flower.
A lot of flowers. Piranha plant and flowers all go in the B tier. In the A tier, we've got the triple banana,
the mushroom,
the lightning,
the spiny shell,
the red shell,
the super horn,
and the triple green shells.
And then in the S tier, we have the triple red shells.
We've got the Starman.
Then we have the triple mushrooms.
Okay.
And that, of course, leaves super leaf, feather, and coin in the
graveyard.
Graveyard, yeah. Okay, so here's my question for you. and it is. Which of these do you think are game changer items? Because I think
Ooh.
that we have a lot of items, and most of them are in the C tier. That like when you get it, rarely are you like this could change the game. I'm in second place. This person is in first place, and me getting this item
Right.
is a game changer. I think anything red shell, triple red shell, or regular red shell is a game changer,
Right.
or has the potential to be. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like, if you're, because when you're further back, you're getting a lot of these C tier items, and they're helping you in that fight for like the middle.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna. But if you're in like
They're almost
third
never
place
gonna
or
help
like
you
fourth
win.
place, you're not gonna get most of these.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get maybe like a green shell or a red shell. And so yeah, which in your opinion are like game changers? Where if you're in that like fourth
Mm-hmm.
to the second place and you get it, you're like, oh, I have a chance against first place.
And you're saying of all the items on here.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. What can turn it around? I mean, obviously, and any of those in the S tier, right?
Yeah.
Triple mushrooms, triple red shells, and Starman. Those are all candidates for "This is how I win."
Mhm.
That Adam Sandler gif, right? um, triple bananas isn't going to do it. Triple green shells isn't going to do it.
I do feel like regular green shell.
Really?
You're right. That'd be a long shot.
I
But what about like the bob-omb?
No, I would say no.
Okay.
I think the golden mushroom really has the best shot of being a game changer like that you could really pull ahead. And honestly, like one red shell could also do it,
It could do it.
especially if you can just like battle your way into second place and then like
Yeah.
knock out the first place person. Man, there's nothing quite like getting a single red shell in third or fourth place where you're like, oh, I don't want to throw it now because then it like
Yeah,
I need it for
the
that
strategy
first place.
really kicks in.
Yeah.
But there are like fewer. I mean, if you're in first place, it's infuriating. But when the
Right.
finish line is in sight,
Yes.
and you have like a red shell and
Yes.
a clear shot to that
Yes.
first place
Yes.
person, like that is an amazing feeling.
That is true. But I don't think any like in the B tier, just to review the item box, banana, blooper, thundercloud, piranha plant, fire flower, and boomerang flower. I don't think any of those
I
could
don't
be
really think so either.
like
yeah.
the boomerang flower. Maybe
And maybe the fire flower, like they're not far enough away that
Yeah.
you can hit them with like, but not in the same way.
Yeah. I agree. But what do you think about golden mushroom?
I
in
totally see
this
what you're saying.
context?
Again, it's like, yeah, if you get the golden mushroom at a good point and you're on like a final straightaway, or even one
Right.
of the like a lot of tracks end with like, a S curve.
Right, where you can take like a real
Uh-huh.
shortcut. Yeah, where you need multiple boosts to get through it.
Yep.
Yeah, so like for that reason, maybe I think the golden mushroom is on the higher side of the C tier.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily takes it out of C tier.
No,
but
I think it's still
definitely
C tier.
raises the esteem of it.
What do you think about the Lucky 7 / Crazy 8? Because that could be something that like changes everything, but it feels too chaotic, and it feels mostly like it's just a star,
And what are the odds?
which we do have in the S tier.
But what are like the actual odds of getting a Crazy 8? Because to me that feels like something that must be deployed
Oh yeah,
when you
pretty infrequently.
are like pretty unusually, and when you are in the back.
I mean, there are complicated algorithms that express how and when you get different kinds of items.
This says that it's the rarest item. For the Crazy 8 is the rarest item in the game.
Okay.
Which, I mean, makes sense. You're going to get a green shell, a red shell, a banana, a bob-omb, a blooper, a star, a mushroom, and a coin. It feels like...
Why bother giving you the coin? Like, I understand they needed an 8th item, so it was different from Lucky 7, but like, come on. And also, I don't remember if the coin is in the Lucky 7. It might be.
Yeah, let me actually
Yeah,
check.
look it up. We should know.
Let's see what the Lucky 7 is.
I don't know why I resent the Lucky 7 / Crazy 8 as much as I do, but I do.
Oh my gosh, the Lucky 7's actually pretty good.
What's it got?
Green shell, red shell, banana peel, mushroom, blooper, star, and bob-omb.
Okay, so basically the same.
But no coin.
No coin, yeah. Hey, I was right. I just took a guess as
Yeah.
to what. Are there no coins in Mario Kart 7? Maybe that's the difference.
Oh yeah.
Because coins came back at some point.
Looking.
Yeah, look it
Yes,
up,
they
look it
are
up.
in 7, but only. All right, what's this 3? The coin was an item in Mario Kart 7, but you could not get it from item boxes.
There you go. So that's why there's a difference.
Yeah.
Mark, why the animus towards the Lucky 7/Crazy 8?
It just feels like
It's a loser item. You get it when you're being a loser.
I mean that is true, and it also but it also just feels like uh kind of like in a way boring
Yes.
because it's just like I don't know, give them 8 items.
Yeah, yeah. And like I don't know about you, but when I get one of these items, I just push the button to use them all as fast as possible.
Right.
Because all I really want to do is get to the star. And like the rest of it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it sort of trivializes the rest of the items. Let's put this thing in the graveyard, Mark. I don't want to deal with Lucky 7/Crazy 8 anymore.
I think it's like a Joker card in a deck
Mm,
where like I know that there are games that use it,
right.
and I'm sure in some scenarios it could be enjoyable, but it with all the other items, there's like some of the ones we were talking about where it feels like there's like a balance to it, and there's like
Right,
a pro
right.
for using it and maybe a con for using it, or like a way to avoid it. And the Crazy Eight just kind of feels like you suck. We're just gonna throw these
We're just gonna give you all these, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's also like just a matter of identity. We like things with a strong, clearly stated identity. It knows what it is, and it accomplishes that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
one of the things
that's true.
one of the things I was saying about the super horn is that like it does what it does so well. It is so clearly, this like weapon/defensive item.
Yeah, there's no way to
use that well.
strategically, like,
Yeah.
use a crate. It doesn't feel like there's a way to strategically use this Lucky 8, 7, or a Crazy 8.
Right. Can we put it in the graveyard, Mark?
Yes, it's officially in the graveyard.
Yes. It could be top of the graveyard. That's fine.
The best of the worst.
Let's continue discussing the C tier here. As you know, we've got a sort of best of the C tier, but kind of the rest of it is just sort of falling here. We currently have green shell towards the bottom, but I don't know. There's something elemental about it. That
Yeah,
makes
I
me-
actually would put it towards the top. For
Okay,
sure.
so right now it is going below golden mushroom. Let's try and where do you think we should go here?
Okay, so I think that the Boo.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Don't really like the boo.
I don't really like it either. Above or below the Mega Mushroom? Do you think?
I think below the mega mushroom.
Okay.
I mean, mega mushroom, for whatever crap we were talking about it before, it is funny to make yourself huge.
Yeah.
Like that's and something that like I don't know why we've abandoned in modern Mario games. Like the original New Super Mario Brothers had that mega mushroom that made you enormous.
I think it's because there's no real like mechanic
That's
to it.
true.
You know, like it's not
it's
like
just chaos. You're right.
it's just like, oh, for 5 or 6 seconds I'm just gonna plow through this level.
Yeah.
You know, there's no strategy or like
Right,
skill
right.
associated with it. It looks cool, which is why they added it, but I think that's why it never came back, because it
Right.
doesn't really add anything to the game itself.
Here's the thing: is that they need to build a game around you get a mega mushroom and then you're giant Mario for
That's right.
a couple seconds. Like
Yeah.
that's there's untapped potential in mega mushroom.
In like Odyssey 2, there's a pipe on a cloud that's way up in the sky, and the only way to get it is to be giant Mario and like pull it down.
Yes. See, wouldn't that be great? But you're right. It's all potential. There's nothing actually to it.
Yeah. I just because, it's only in the Wii game, and so I'm just not that familiar with it.
With the POW block.
The POW block feels lower to me. Like I might even put it below the Boo. Not that I hate it. It just like
Yeah, I think above the boo. Like
Okay.
there is
so below Mega Mushroom.
right, but there is something fun about it from it being used on you side, that you have the opportunity to like jump or do a little trick to like
Yeah,
avoid
yeah.
the full
The worst
penalty
of it, for sure.
Yeah. But then okay, so the bottom of this is shaping up nicely. So boo at the bottom, POW block, then mega mushroom.
Then we have Bullet Bill, and I'd actually put personally Bullet Bill below the Boo and above the Lucky 7 and Crazy 8 because
Sure, above the graveyard.
I mean, actually, I might even put Bullet Bill in the graveyard below Crazy 8 and Lucky 7 because
It's another one that like when the game gives you a bullet bill, you're like, okay.
and at least like you said, like the Lucky 7 has a star. Like it has like you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
has other and like yeah, the Bullet Bill can knock enemies out of the way or like other racers out of the way when it's going. I don't know. I just don't like it that much.
I don't like it either. I do remember it making me feel powerful sometimes when I needed to feel powerful, but like it's a false power, right?
Right. Yes, that's right.
So we shall not worship at the altar of false prophets. So the bullet bill is getting shunted down to the bottom there. Okay, so right now we've got Boo at the and the graveyard has grown here. So now the bottom of the C tier is the Boo, followed by the Pow Block, the Mega Mushroom, and then either the Bob-omb or the Banana Bunch.
And I would put the Bob-omb before.
Yeah, above the Banana Bunch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would too.
Banana Bunch getting no respect for an item that is just 5 of something that we love so much more.
Well, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
don't like it.
I don't. Yep, me either.
Again, the name, killer. But if you have a bunch of bananas, it's not 5 bananas in a line. They should be all bunched up. If it was that like your character was holding a bunch of bananas and they like pulled them off the bunch, somehow ate the banana and then threw the peels back there.
That'd be amazing. Do you know what I think it is?
What's
this
that?
is my hypothesis.
Yeah.
Is that the Banana Bunch was always meant in its soul to be triple bananas, but the limitations
Sure.
of like the Nintendo 64 for
Right.
whatever reason.
Right. Couldn't do it.
They could not render 3 bananas spinning in a circle for whatever reason.
No, they could only do that with shells.
The googly eyes on the bananas were too much. Or
Are
whatever.
there googly eyes on the bananas? I don't think.
Aren't there on
there
like
are.
the newer ones?
I mean, there's like just there's just like the black lines that are like their pupils.
Oh
right?
yeah.
They're not googly.
It's not a rare game.
No, it's not a rare game.
Yeah. You're right, of course.
These aren't jiggies or whatever. Bum ba-da-ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum.
So yeah,
I think
Banana
this is
Bunch,
right.
no
Yeah.
respect.
No respect for the Banana Bunch.
The Rodney Dangerfield of Mario Kart items.
That's right. Okay, let's move on to the B tier because I feel pretty good about what
Settled,
we've got
yeah.
there. But so of the following: fake item box, banana, blooper, thundercloud, piranha plant, fire flower, boomerang flower. What do you think is like the top here?
I'm going to plant my flag for fake item box, and I'm doing this to use my pulpit, no matter we're really into the religion stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
My pulpit, no matter how small, to advocate for fake item box to come back.
We can make it a political thing. You must vote for the return of the fake item box.
I would
we
really
can
like
mix
to-
politics and religion,
I
Mark.
would really like to see it come back.
Yeah, I think that is a great pull. I don't want to put banana too much lower either
No.
because
No.
we see it as such a dynamic like trap
It's
setting.
so good.
Yeah,
I like
it's so good.
I like a single banana. And almost there's something just about when you run into a banana peel, and this
Yeah.
cannot be said for the fake item box. When you run into a banana peel, you're like, oh, but that's on me.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I didn't get
That's
out
true.
of the way of that banana peel.
Right,
I
right.
saw it. It was in my
right,
sights.
I clocked it for a full second and a half.
Uh-huh.
Still ran into it.
Yep.
Because I was drifting and I didn't know how to stop it.
Yep. The Dark Souls of Mario Kart items.
That's right.
Where like you fail, but you're like, that's on me.
That's on me.
The game played fair.
The game played fair. All right. Blooper, piranha plant, fire flower, boomerang flower, thundercloud. I'm putting. I think the blooper is the bottom of this list for me.
Yeah, I don't hate the blooper as much as you do, but I won't fight you too hard on it.
Maybe the thundercloud is just a little bit better than the blooper.
It's another one that really is done a disservice by only being in one game.
Totally. If we had more time with it, if only we had more time, Mark.
And yeah, cherish the moments we did have. The boomerang flower.
I think that might be next. Frankly.
Oh, I personally
Yeah, you like the
fire flower more.
Okay.
And then I would honestly say piranha plant and then
boomerang flower.
Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that. And then the thundercloud after that and the blooper at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Mark's love for the item box propels the top of the B tier. My hatred for the blooper propels its position at the bottom
Shadow
of
and
the B
light.
tier. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now we are into the A tier, where we have got the triple bananas, triple green shells, super horn, red shell, spiny shell, lightning, and mushroom.
Now, one thing, and I don't think it's the top of this list,
Yeah.
but one thing I like about the triple green shells
Mm-hmm.
is just like we were talking about with the Starman, there's a little bit of grace with it. Where with one green shell, you have to be precise.
Yeah.
With triple green shells, you can kind of shoot them off hot-headed,
Right.
and just hope that like one of the three will find its target.
Yeah, and these are all good items.
Uh-huh.
These are all items well, with the exception of the lightning, I guess. Lightning may be the bottom of this list for me.
Yeah.
Of the A tier, I'm saying.
Yeah, I think
I don't think there's anything on this
I think
worse.
I think
than
you're
the,
right.
Okay. I do. So I fully agree with you about the triple green shells. I do think it's interesting that we have the super horn and the spiny shell in the same tier together, as they are natural enemies.
And which one? Yeah, and which one is better?
I mean,
The super horn?
I think the super horn has to be better than the spiny shell because, like, in a game of rock paper scissors,
Right.
super horn beats spiny shell.
Plus, the super horn doesn't have to be deployed if you're in first place. It has other uses.
It does have other uses,
like
yeah.
if you are further back, you can still use the super horn to your advantage.
Right. Well, and also, like, we have to acknowledge that the spiny shell, while being this iconic thing that we, are like putting
Love
up
to hate.
with, that we love to hate, it is annoying.
It is.
But yeah, so I think maybe super horn at the top of the A tier.
I don't
for
know that I
me,
would I
or
don't know that
near the top.
near
at
the
any
top.
rate.
Yeah.
But what's better? What's better than the super horn? The mushroom?
A red shell? I think
Yeah,
both of those are probably
you're
better.
probably right. I think mushroom above red shell, or I think red shell is.
I
probably
think red
the
shell
best.
above mushroom. The homing aspect of it.
Yeah, it's
is,
just
is too good.
It's impeccable. So red shell at the top here, mushroom, then super horn, lightning at the bottom. We have to place in here the triple green shells, the spiny shell, and the triple banana.
How weird that I feel like spiny shell is like the least good of those three. So like that it would go above lightning. And then I would put
Yeah.
triple green shells and
What's better, triple green shells or triple bananas? This is, I think, a tough one. I honestly, I like the trap setting element.
yeah, I like the
more
fact
than
that because there can be delayed gratification with any of the bananas,
Right.
where you place it and maybe it doesn't get somebody in that first lap, maybe it doesn't get somebody in that second lap.
But it might
It
by the
might.
third lap. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
who knows? And maybe it's you. Maybe you get got all
Maybe
on your
you
own.
are the triple banana.
So then we just have to do the top three, which are the triple mushroom, the starman, and the triple red shells, not necessarily in that order. But Mark, before we do that, I think we should actually solidify the rest of the list.
Sounds good.
Just sort of review what we have, make sure we haven't made any outrageous mistakes here.
Yeah.
Because that can happen as we're just moving cards around on your dining room table. Okay, so at the bottom of the list, from the bottom to the top, goes the coin,
Then the feather,
then the super leaf,
then the bullet bill,
then lucky 7/crazy 8,
then the boo,
then the pow block,
then the mega mushroom,
then the banana bunch,
followed by the bob-omb,
and then the green shell,
then the golden mushroom,
then the blooper,
and the thundercloud,
the boomerang flower,
the piranha plant,
the fire flower,
the banana,
the item box,
the lightning,
the spiny shell,
triple green shells,
triple bananas,
super horn,
mushroom.
and then the red shell.
Honestly, I agree with everything
Yeah,
here
I
so far.
really-
Like, I think this is one of the more sound rankings that we've done up to this point.
I think so.
Okay.
All right, so now we have the top three to grapple with, which,
Right.
like you mentioned, is the triple mushrooms, the starman, and the triple red shells.
So I think Starman is number 3 here.
Interesting.
I like the Starman. It's very useful. I love the music cues, but there's something so like foundational and elemental about triple mushrooms and triple red shells.
So I won't I'm not like pushing back hard, but I'm just curious why you feel like triple mushroom over Starman.
because triple mushroom is, you have 3 opportunities to land these boosts.
Is it like the sniper rifle aspect of it?
Yeah.
Where you can
You get to like show off your specific skill.
and strategic deployment
Yes.
in a way that like the Starman, while great, does not afford those possibilities.
Right, you're just powerful.
Because if you want to use the triple mushroom, like if you want to use one now and wait,
Right.
to do it later, you have that option. Versus Starman, it's like, well, in this 15-second period,
Yeah.
like use it or lose it.
Right. And that obviously like saving the items has its own like risks to it. It can be stolen by that boo. You can lose them from the pow or from the lightning. And the Starman would protect you against all of that.
Right. Risk reward.
Risk reward, yeah. And I just like being able to deploy it as I see fit.
And then that leaves us with the triple red shells.
Well, or the triple.
Oh
mushrooms.
no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
I'm just saying that
Starman's the least.
Starman's the least good of the S tier. But yeah, so triple red shells versus triple mushrooms, which is better? Back in the A tier, we can take a look at what we did before. The single red shell, is above the single mushroom. So is that prescriptive here that we like red shells more than we like mushrooms? And therefore, if we like, do we like 3 red shells more than we like 3 mushrooms? I don't know.
Something that I really like about the triple red shells.
Yes.
I actually might think that it is my favorite of the 3, and that's just going off of like the feeling that I get when I pull the triple red shells feels incredible.
Well, it's interesting because like it's not like talking about the triple mushrooms is such like a skill deploy move, and the triple red shells like not really a skill based thing because like you throw it, it's gonna hit.
Yeah,
right?
It's almost like triple red shells is more about knowing when to not throw it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it totally makes sense. One thing I do want to say in defense of triple mushrooms, and it doesn't really need to be defended if it's the second best Mario Kart item, but it is the what's it called? The time trial item that like when you do a time trial, it gives you triple mushrooms. And so it's all just like the pure racing.
I'm really torn.
I'm torn here too.
Because that stuff you're saying about like, oh, like when it comes down to it, what is the most important thing in Mario Kart? And it is speed.
Yeah.
Like the ability to go faster than your opponent is indispensable.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it might be triple mushrooms.
I think it might be triple mushrooms. All right.
Now, triple red shells does also have a defensive element.
True.
Which is like, but like you said, second place is nothing to sniff at.
No. That's still a very good item. And from the A tier on up, there are no bad items, I don't think. And really, even like the top of the B tier, even though we got banana in there, banana is fun.
This is the one that has been like bugging me a little bit.
This is the lightning.
Do we think lightning is in the right place, or should it go below banana? And should banana go above fake item box? I know I've said my piece about
what?
Fake item box. I know I've said my piece about fake item box, and I still believe it to be true.
Yeah. But one of these things is more iconic than the other. Okay.
I tried to talk myself out of it, but the fake item box was too real. It remains strong. But yeah, I think lightning.
Yeah, lightning is dropping down 2 positions from it was below spiny shell. It is now below both the item box and the banana. Just better than the fire flower. I guess that's right.
That feels better to me.
One more recap all the way from the bottom up to the top, Mark.
Yeah, so there's 28 items now because we combined.
No, but then we added the bunch.
You're
the
right.
Banana bunch.
You're right. So we're back.
We're back to 29.
Okay.
I think.
I believe. Let's do it.
Okay, and if not, we will cut this and no one will know. In 29th place, we've got the coin.
In 28th, the feather.
27th, we've got the super leaf.
26th is Bullet Bill.
25 is the shared position of Lucky 7 and Crazy 8.
24 is Boo.
23 is Pow Block.
22, the Mega Mushroom.
21 is the Banana Bunch.
Number 20, the Bob-omb.
Number 19, Green Shell.
Number 18, the Golden Mushroom.
Number 17, Blooper.
Number 16, Thundercloud.
Number 15, Boomerang Flower.
Number 14, Piranha Plant.
Number 13, Fireflower.
Number 12, Lightning.
Number 11, Banana.
Number 10 is the fake item box.
Number 9, Spiny Shell.
No, I'm getting nervous. Number 8 is the triple green shells.
Number 7 is Triple Banana.
Number 6 is the super horn.
Number 5 is the Mushroom.
Number 4 is the red shell.
Number 3 is the
Oh,
Starman.
we did it. Number 2 is the triple red shells.
And number 1, your best Mario Kart item is the Triple Mushrooms. Congratulations to Triple Mushrooms. Mark, let's close this out. All right, that is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. If you think we made any mistakes here or didn't consider something that we should have considered, you can always write to us at Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com or get into our Discord and fight it out with us in there. We love doing that. Send us an email. We'll send you an invitation. Thank you to our 16-bit patron, Connor McCabe. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying, bring back the fake item box. And thank you for listening.